creating a new Cyprus.
Yeah.
Not that we've lost our culture and heritage, but we're entering a new era. Your previous question is a good one, because going into politics, yes, there's a lot of talk about building those facilities, but as you say, sometimes they go a little bit cold once we have... Sales to me is having a product that you can stand behind, that you believe in, and that you don't have to actively push. I'm glad you brought that point up, because it's something we continuously preach. There's no such thing as a good and bad hotel. There's only a property that fits a certain type of guest. Champions are just contenders that never gave up.
Farah Shammas, welcome to Hotel Talk. We hope you enjoy listening to this friendly conversation between people connected by real life in hotels. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Hotel Talk. And I have with us yet again a good friend of mine, someone who I've known in the industry for we looked up pictures the other day, about 20 years now.
Going on 20.
Yeah, going on 20. It is Costantinos Christofi, who is the Senior Sales Manager of Leisure at the brand new City of Dreams. Now, everyone's heard of City of Dreams. Not everyone's visited yet, but this has been on the cards for decades. Been talking about having a casino in Cyprus for as long as I can remember, since I was little. And finally it's here. And I'm so happy that Costantinos is here to tell us a bit about that and a bit about him. Welcome.
Well, thank you, Farah, for having me. And thank you for welcoming me to the podcast. It's great finally being here.
Yeah, thank you.
And let me congratulate you on your successes.
Thank you so much.
So far. And I hope many more years to come and many more interesting guests on the podcast. We'll get the entire City of Dreams staff out here.
Yeah, why
not? One by one. 2,100 of them.
You know what? That's one of the things people have commented on, that this is, this is to promote Cyprus and this is to promote our industry. And one of the reasons I wanted to do Hotel Talk was to highlight how interesting our profession is. Not because this is this is how you operate a hotel and, the 101 of being a hotelier, but the opposite of just showcasing all the amazing people that are brought together because of hotels, and especially Cyprus, like how much we have to offer here.
I think you're right. This island has so much to offer, not just within the hotel sector, but within hospitality itself. And the more Cyprus develops, the more Cyprus grows, the more we diversify internationally. We're bringing in staff from not just Europe, but all over the world. It's really bringing more culture, a different dynamic, people bringing their life stories and their cultures with them to the island. And it's really creating a new Cyprus.
Yeah.
Not that we've lost our culture and heritage, but we're entering a new era of hospitality with more professionals bringing more
to the table.
Global experience to the table.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start off this podcast a little bit differently. I definitely want to go into you and growing up, but let's start off with talking about the casino.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun. The casino, the City of Dreams. So tell us a little bit about the casino. People maybe are listening from abroad and don't know that this is a massive deal for Cyprus. This is a huge project that's opened. It's, my goodness, taken quite a few years to build, and I think north of 700 million.
It's a large investment.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact number to put down to paper, but it's one of Cyprus's biggest ventures by far. And it's probably one of the largest employers on the island for staff. We have, as I mentioned,
so let's hear a bit
staff.
about it, because it is a casino, but it's not just a casino.
So I was going to correct you, but you corrected yourself.
Yeah.
So what it is not just a casino. It's an integrated casino resort. So it is 42 hectares of land. It's one of the biggest projects in land size of its type. It has 500 hotel rooms, 120,000 square meter outdoor area with pools and outdoor recreational areas, which includes wave rider, adventure park with zip lines, ropes courses, 4 huge swimming pools with a beach pool, because obviously we are not directly on the seafront, as you are lucky enough to have here at the St. Raphael Resort and Marina. You see, I got the name right.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
So we're not seafront. So instead of just having pools, we put in a beach pool as well with sand in it. And the resort itself has the biggest MICE facilities on the island as well, with 1,500 square meter expo center, nearly 1,500 square meter ballroom. We're engaging a lot of MICE activities. We have retail space with luxury retail, shopping experience, and much more. So,
and the restaurants, my goodness.
And 9 restaurants
bars.
and bars throughout the resort, of course, 4 of them being signature restaurants.
So the government was talking for a long time. I mean, you and I have been in this industry for a while. And of course, we promote MICE. For those of you who don't know, that's meetings, incentives, conference and events. So basically group business coming to Cyprus. And the government has been talking for a long time about doing a huge conference hall, multifunction area. Do you think that they're going to stop that now? I mean, there's no need for it because you guys have...
I hope they continuously develop the MICE industry.
Because it kind of went, we want the MICE industry to develop. But there was talks of a huge venue being built somewhere, and then that somewhere was never found, and the talks now have kind of died down a bit. So I'm wondering, since you guys have, I mean, it's huge. Tell us the square meters.
So it's 1,500 square meter expo center and a 1,500 square meter ballroom. You were lucky enough to come and do some meetings at the M&I Forum. That's a forum that Cyprus has been trying to get to the island for at least the past 15, 20 years that I can remember within my career, but even longer from what I understand from some of the more senior people in the industry. So we were lucky enough to be able to host it. And our property president was gracious enough to be the main sponsor of the event. And we put a lot of energy, effort, and finance into bringing that event to Cyprus. But we wanted to really highlight the island, of course. Your previous question is a good one, because going into politics, yes, there's a lot of talk about building those facilities, but as you say, sometimes they go a little bit cold once we have something good enough to get by.
Yes, the private investment.
Not that we're just good enough to get by. It's a premier facility.
I mean, it's amazing.
But we want more investment within the MICE industry. We want to hold the big congresses. We want more hotels to pop up. We need more hotel rooms on the island and in Limassol.
And so for many people who know casino hotels in Vegas and so many other places in the world that have casino hotels, usually those hotels are 2,000 plus rooms. And in Cyprus, I know that in order to get the license, it was a reduced number of rooms so that the overspill would support the local community as well. And I remember there was quite a big thing made by the investors, the CEOs and general managers in all of the talks leading up to the opening of the casino, that the City of Dreams was very much about supporting the local community, not just with jobs, but also with other hotels and overspills. So tell us a bit about that, because it is, I say only 500. I mean, it's the biggest hotel I think we have. But
it's by far the biggest hotel in Limassol.
It's only,
Look, it's not a Vegas or Macau, but by far it is the biggest property in Limassol and one of the biggest on the island in terms of capacities. Going quickly to the casino, because we continuously mention the casino, and I don't know if the listeners know the size of the casino. It's the biggest grand casino in the region. So it's 8,000 square meters.
And when you say the region, you mean the Mediterranean and Middle East?
I'll confidently say the Mediterranean, and probably one of the biggest ones in Europe. Absolutely. But the resort itself, the integrated casino, is the biggest in Europe of its development.
Okay. Well, I must say my husband came the other day for a drink in the bar area, and he saw the show and he was so impressed. You know, people don't have to come to game or gamble. There's so much more going on. So I'm definitely going to bring my kids to your trampoline park as well.
Very good.
So
and we did a tour together, and I think your daughter fell in love with the trampoline park.
Yes, they've been talking about it a lot at home. So tell us a bit about your view of Limassol, Cyprus. What do we have to offer as a destination? What's good about where we're from?
I think you know this.
I do, but I love hearing it from other people.
I think you know this because we've done countless trade shows. We've done countless sales trips. We've done so much. The city itself, I believe, is one of the premier destinations of the Mediterranean. not just because I live here, but because there's so much to offer in terms of history, culture, fine dining, traditional dining. We have so much as a destination. Obviously, the beautiful seaside, great beaches, and the best 5-star hotels within the region. And at the same time, they're affordable 5-star hotels.
Oh my God, I'm so happy you've highlighted this because it is so true. Like if so many, especially I'd say Mediterranean, but also many European capitals, countries, places, really the hotels are comparatively with what we offer here in Cyprus and Limassol, there is no comparison. I mean, we are such a higher level, and then the prices are insane.
Yeah, the prices.
I mean, what we offer compared to other places.
Absolutely, our prices are very low. Well, you've been to Tel Aviv. I mean,
No, I haven't.
No, you haven't.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I was recently in Tel Aviv, and the prices there are off the charts.
Yeah.
Even
everywhere. I mean, okay, obviously there's London, Paris. I mean, these are like obvious places. But even if you go to Athens off season or I don't
Côte
know.
d'Azur. The Côte d'Azur, yeah.
For sure. I mean,
So,
that's crazy.
I don't think there's anything they offer that we can't compete with here in Limassol. So we are, for the Mediterranean and the climate that we offer, we're very reasonably priced, and the services are phenomenal. I mean, we have great service, great quality product, and we offer, I think, the best that the Mediterranean has to offer. That being said, Limassol, I'm afraid, isn't highlighted enough internationally. People, when I travel, we really need to promote the city of Limassol. We don't get enough exposure. Obviously, people know Cyprus throughout Europe. Globally, we're starting to make a footprint, but Limassol just, it's not there.
It's not as known as it should be for what we offer.
It's not recognized for what it currently offers. And we, as sales representatives of our respective products, we work night and day to get the word out about how great this city is and how much it has to offer. At the same time, you know it best how seasonal this destination is and how dependent we are on charter operations.
Which it shouldn't be, because I mean, January, February, one of the most beautiful times in Cyprus. The weather's perfect. I mean, who can go wrong with 25 degrees at that time?
Yeah.
It's green. It's luscious green. I mean, it's so pretty. During lockdown, I was staying in the hotel and just walking in the gardens. And I was like, wow, this is paradise. We're literally living in utopia.
Yeah, when you have an average daytime temperature in January of 20, 22 degrees, you don't need anything else.
And that's the average daily, but we have some days that are 25.
Yeah,
okay, we might have some days that are 17 or 18, but it's still beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing.
Look, there's so much to offer. We really work hard on our side. We try and get the Limassol Tourism Board to help us out with initiatives. We really need to get the word out about the city, because there's so much to discover, not just within the city, but within a 20-minute drive of the city.
And because we're so long and thin, I always say that about Limassol, we're only 2 to 5 minutes from any village, wherever you are. Because it's not a circular city, so you can just, wherever you are, you're just, you go up north and then you're in a village.
And you're in a completely new destination.
Completely different. It's still part of Limassol, but you can go to your traditional tavernas, you can find archaeological sites, authentic streets and homes and people, and it's just amazing.
Absolutely. I completely agree. And I think you know firsthand how much passion we both have about the destination. We work so hard to highlight it, and I hope for our future generations that we can get that hospitality side and the tourism side really to take off in Limassol.
I'm sure it will. I have no doubt. I'm so happy you mentioned sales, because I've got that here as a question to ask you. You're in sales. I'm also, whether I like it or not, always in sales. Once in sales, always in sales. What is sales to you?
What is sales to me? It is, are we talking generally about a hotel, or are we talking?
Let's go specific with hotels. Yeah.
Sales,
but you're welcome to make it generic.
Sales to me is having a product that you can stand behind, that you believe in, and that you don't have to actively push. That's sales. I can just tell you about the great facilities and the fact that I'm so confident in what I have to offer for your customers, for your guests with my product. That's sales. It's confidence. It's knowing that we have a product that competes with the best products in the world. And it doesn't matter what the product is. It's having a good product and being able to really
believe in it.
Believe in it, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing. If you have to sell something that you don't believe in, then it comes across as fake, not authentic. Yeah. You start using these old tricks and people can smell it a mile away.
At the same time, we're in a highly competitive industry and era where sales in Cyprus were not, and I'm adamant, and you've heard me say this countless times, we don't have competition on the island. We have such a diverse product offering on the island that each hotel has the capability of filling itself. The continuous sales we have to do is to promote the destination. And once we manage to get that number, that magic number over 4 million year on year on year, we can make our jobs easier as salespeople to get those people to Cyprus and then help them select the property that fits their
requirements.
Needs, requirements.
So what, in your opinion, makes a good salesperson? Not to say salesperson.
I think they need to dress well.
I was just going to say that. We were laughing. I was laughing before we started that I didn't wear my suit. But I was so aware this morning of, matching the amazing. If you watch this on YouTube, you'll see Costantinos always dresses well.
Inspired by Prodromos.
The legend. Prod was the first.
He was the first. He's a trendsetter. So, no, I think a good salesperson needs to be true to his or her character.
But we're joking, but they do have to be presentable. There's no point someone being shabby and then representing a 5-star luxury product.
We've seen successful shabby salespeople.
Depending on what they're selling.
It's, even the shabby ones, if they're true to their character and they let the light shine from within and they truly show their true selves. I think a good salesperson just tells the truth and tells it the way it is, because you're selling a product, but at the end of the day, you're also selling yourself. So if I'm selling something, I really want to engage with my customers, my clients, my colleagues. I want them to know that this is me, take it or leave it, but I'm the way I am, but I still know my product. I still know my job. You know what I mean? It's it's not just about numbers. It's about individuals. It's about characteristics. The numbers come and play when I have to do my reports.
Yeah, they're almost the after effects, but the thing.
Well, the numbers are always there. They're your focus point. But I think to really have a good rapport with your colleagues and your clients, it's a one-to-one job.
Yeah, I always say, the main thing is you're selling a solution.
Absolutely.
You're selling a solution that they maybe didn't even know they needed, but the solution to their problem. The product is later, the numbers are later, but you're engaging with them. You're being authentic, real. I remember being at trade shows with you and so many other people, and many of our colleagues in the industry actually laughed at me at the time, because I'd be like, oh, no, we're not for you. When I get to know what the customer wanted, the client, no, let me introduce you to another colleague. Like, that's for, they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want someone to come to our hotel and be miserable. There's no point lying now and trying to persuade them to come to us. Like, let them go somewhere else.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad you brought that point up, because it's something we continuously preach. There's no such thing as a good and bad hotel. There's only a property that fits a certain type of guest.
Exactly.
And you can't force an all-inclusive guest into a 5-star ultra luxury resort where a bottle of water might cost them 5 or 6 euros.
Yeah.
That guest obviously comes with a different need. So yeah, you're absolutely right. When you recommend another property, let's recommend something within the region and still get the positive word out.
And you can't suit everyone. I always say that for restaurants. Whenever we do a menu at any of our restaurants, there might be something we think, oh, this is going to sell really well, and then maybe it does, but there'll always be someone who says, I did not like that, I didn't like that dish. Okay, there's 100 others.
Absolutely.
And we've got loads of other restaurants, go eat there.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can't please everyone, but at the same time, the ones who are pleased because we do what we do, and we do it the best we can do it.
Okay, we're going to go back in time now.
Let's go back.
Rewind. Tell us a bit about you. Where were you born? Where did you grow up? And how did you get into hotels?
I was born and raised in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. That is about
quite far from here.
10,000 kilometers that way, yeah.
Just a little bit.
So for those of our listeners that don't know Calgary, it is on the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. So I was born and raised in a cowboy community on the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, skiing, hiking, and really taking in that Canadian nature. And I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to grow up there. And got my foray into hospitality from a very young age. My aunt and uncle own a restaurant in Calgary, a traditional Greek taverna.
I love it.
Yeah.
My big fat Greek wedding.
And it was me and the cousins and the brothers and sisters and everyone helping out on the weekends, serving the clients water, even from, I can remember as far back as 8, 10, 12 years old, just always being in that restaurant and always seeing my aunt with the smile on her face, welcoming the guests. It was a family-run business. So
nice. And what a nice feeling from such a young age, being 8 or 9 or 10, having that feeling of autonomy and feeling that you're part of a community and you're actually doing something.
And that was really the first time I was able to see Santorini Greek Taverna, by the way, for those of you who are in Calgary and want some traditional Greek food.
Why did they call it Santorini?
I think that Limassol was taken. No,
maybe. You know what? When I was in Birmingham, I think that's where I had my birthday. When I was studying in Birmingham, my 18th or 19th birthday, there was a taverna called Limassol restaurant, and I was always like, "Yay!" But the people were from Paphos. Yeah. I was like, what?
They chose the more popular of the cities. No, I think they chose Santorini because they wanted something recognizable.
Yes, okay.
To bring to the table. Yeah. And there was another restaurant down the street called Mykonos.
I was going to say, why not Mykonos? Okay.
Of course. That was my first highlight of the hospitality industry. And as a teenager growing up, we worked through our uni years as waiters and bartenders in the restaurant, and we made our way out into the real world after uni and just continuously followed in hospitality. I think what brought me into that side was the one-to-one interaction with the customers. It was, seeing a satisfied customer, enjoying the evening in the restaurant,
it's people.
It's people.
We're a people's business.
You serve them a good product, they leave with a smile, and they come right back. And that's actually, to go back to our earlier conversation, if I may, it's 90% of sales is happy customers.
Absolutely. We sell happiness. We sell memories. It's good memories.
It's up to us to bring in the first guests, absolutely, as salespeople. But the operations team, when they do their job and they do it so well that the customers leave with a smile and can't wait to come back, that's 90% of our job is already done, because they then become the ambassadors of the product. They then become the representatives of the hotel or the restaurant or whatever. I mean, having, and I'm going to give a shout out to Golden Monkey here. Having tried Golden Monkey, I couldn't sing enough praises around the community to it. And I want to say it's the talk of the town, but it's word of mouth. It's saying, I was satisfied, I really enjoyed it, you should go try it. And then when that person comes and tries it,
they'll tell other
continued
people.
Growth. That's it.
Absolutely.
So I sidetracked us, but let's get back to the original question was...
No, just about you growing up, how you ended up in hotels. You've pretty much gone through it all and answered, but I would like to ask how and why then did you come back to Cyprus?
So my parents moved to Cyprus when I started uni, actually.
Okay.
So
were they waiting for you to go to uni to kind of grow up? So kind of, back?
So they
and you had brothers, sisters?
I have a younger brother, and he came back with them, I think, late 90s, early 2000s. I think 99, 2000 when I was about to start uni. So my parents and my brother moved to Cyprus, and instead of me moving away to go to uni,
they left.
They said,
okay, well, what about me?
You're almost 18 now. Good luck. Wishing you the best. And they moved to Cyprus. So I finished my education out in Canada, and I didn't have the intention to come stay in Cyprus. I came for a summer, and I got a summer job, and just kind of took it season by season. And one season became two seasons became three. And when you're in your young 20s living in Cyprus, I mean, it's like paradise. When you're a young, single 20-something-year-old, it's, you know, you live with
so much fun.
Live with mom and dad. You have a car. You just have fun, and I really enjoyed Cyprus and the lifestyle that it offered, compared to not that Canada's bad by any means, but compared to the monotony.
And it's just so different.
Canada, yeah. And to be honest, I never traveled. I never traveled when I lived in Canada. It was always the summer in Cyprus, or going to the mountains, going to maybe a different city around Canada if you had the opportunity. Living in Cyprus, we have weekend getaways within an hour and a half, 2-hour flight. You can be in a completely new country, new area, and just get that opportunity to travel. And I really like that about Cyprus. And I think that's what people in Europe like about Cyprus as well, because it's 3-4 hour flight away. You can be in a completely different sunny destination. So that's what brought me to Cyprus initially, was just working a summer. I got a front office job in a hotel, and I worked through the first summer and continued in front office, working for a couple more summers. And then you and I met when I actually finished the army, and I worked for an exhibition company.
Yeah, you were building the stands.
I worked for a company that built the stands for Cyprus Tourism Organization. And that company gave me a great opportunity, Christo and Vanthula, just to give them their praises as well. They gave me a great opportunity to really travel around Europe and to explore destinations I'd never seen in my life. And we were building the stands for the Cyprus Tourism Organization all over Europe and the Middle East. And I think that's where I really met a lot of the hotel people and the sales people in the hotels during that experience of building those exhibition stands. And it kind of opened my eyes to the other side of the hotel, which was the sales side, where I saw all of the people from the commercial
doing
departments doing what
they
do, engaging with customers. And it really, it inspired me to say, wow, hotels aren't just the operational side, it's the non-ops, it's the back of house as well. And it's the people doing the footwork a year and a half before.
I know.
Setting up contracts, setting up everything else.
I'm always like a year ahead. I start writing like 2024 from
You're
August,
already in winter 25 right now.
Yeah, exactly. Doing contracts.
Yeah, so I really like that side of it. And when I had the opportunity to work for the Intercontinental, Aphrodite Hills, that's the job I did right after working for the exhibition company. I went to Aphrodite Hills and I put my foot into the sales door. And with the help of some of my local heroes, they really helped me to learn more about the job and to develop.
That's so nice. I've got actually another question here, talking about your local heroes. Who inspires you, or who has been your mentor, is your mentor? Could be someone you know, someone you don't.
There's, I think as you grow up and you evolve, you learn that without even knowing it, some people were mentors. And they helped you develop your knowledge set without you even knowing it. Locally, let's start internationally. First and foremost, it must have been my aunt and uncle who really showed me, Maria and Andrea in Calgary, who showed me the hospitality side of it. They inspired a lot of it. In Cyprus, I think from my first footsteps into sales, I can give credit to a lot of people, of which it would be, and you know them all, and I'll list them off. One of them was your former GM here. So it was Kratinos Sokratos, for sure. Spiros Michailidis.
He wasn't our GM. These guys.
No.
I'm like, just correcting in case people get confused now.
Dimitris Dimitriou was your former GM.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, so he's one of them. Andreas Christodoulidis, Kratinos, and Spiros, for sure. Also Jacqueline Arnold, who not many people know, was the director of mice. And she taught me a lot
I remember Jacqueline,
about the mice industry. I don't think it's fair to just mention those five, because there's so many. I mean, even on the DMC side, there's a lot that inspire and teach us along the way. from all of our local partners. But I think the younger you are and the more people are willing to teach you. So those 5 that were my first footsteps into sales, I'll give them a lot of the credit for teaching me the foundations of hospitality sales, because they came with an international background. They taught me a lot, and they took a chance on a young, immature guy. Not that I'm mature now.
Let's just clarify. I'm still fun.
Yeah, I'm not mature by any means, but they took a chance on a young Canadian kid in Cyprus willing to learn, and they really opened the doors to get me out and to learn the role. And my first sales calls, even I was held by the hand and shown how to do it, which was, it's inspiring, because now I'm doing the same for other people, and you see how the circle goes round and around.
That's so beautiful. Thank you. So, DJing. Tell us a bit about DJing, your other love.
So, other than being a young Canadian working in a restaurant, my two gumbari now, one of whom married me and the other whom I married off, we always enjoyed music as younger kids, and we were always the appointed DJs at the family parties, because we collected CDs, obviously. The young kids in the family collecting CDs. So we would always play the music at the family parties. And that kind of stemmed into us buying 2 speakers as a group, and then buying a mixing board, and not even knowing what we were doing, and just pressing buttons and playing songs. Eventually, I learned to actually DJ. And I think you've seen me on a few occasions at a few different parties where I took that hobby very seriously, and I was quite successful at it. But ultimately chose the path of hospitality. I think, though, still to this day, you will turn on my Spotify and always be surprised at what you'll find in there. There's everything ranging from hip hop to country music. It's just a love of music. So DJing was really, it was a passion. It still is a passion, but it was a great way to meet people and engage again.
Well, we had DJ Raveen on this podcast, and he spoke about love of music, and it was such an interesting episode. So I can understand. I think who doesn't love music? It just lifts your soul.
It does. And I was with Steph Mack recently. Marie's, you had his wife recently on the podcast. And every time I get to see Steph or any of these guys that, we've known each other through the business over the past years, how's the family? Good. How are the kids? Good. What's new? This and that. So did you see this new mixing console? Did you see it? It's always straight back into music, or straight back into, nostalgia about DJing in Limassol in the good old days, or the Rumors days, or these things. It's love of music, and it's, ultimately people and music that bring it together.
And I think we all need a hobby, don't we? We all need a hobby. We all need a passion.
Absolutely.
Whatever we're doing.
We need hobbies more than ever with kids. We need, because now our kids seem to be the hobby.
Yeah, definitely. So the question I ask everyone, favorite quote?
Oh, very good one. I have a million favorite quotes.
I know, that's the problem, narrowing it down.
Mine's a little bit cheesy because it's from a movie.
That's all right, bit of fromage, fromage frais.
Fromage. It's champions. Oh, now I'm at a loss for words.
That's all right.
It is champions are just contenders that never gave up.
I love that.
Yeah?
Who said that?
Rocky Balboa.
Rocky, I was going to say, instead of movie.
So champions are contenders that never gave up. So never give up, follow your dreams, follow your passion. And
it's perseverance.
Perseverance. Do what you do and love what you do.
Exactly. That's the trick to being happy in life. My dad used to always tell me, find something you love and then find someone to pay you to do it.
Absolutely. Completely agree.
Right. Any question you want from the crystal ball? I'll read it to you.
Okay.
I think this one is from, oh my goodness, they've even said from Steph Mack. I can't believe it. And we just mentioned you, Steph, when you listened to this. So we had our 1 year anniversary party in September, end of September. And we asked everybody who attended if they wanted to write a question, and obviously Steph did. So what's your opinion on children, their access to the web and smart devices? What a good question.
What a profound question from Steph.
And you have, how old is your little one?
My oldest is 8 and the little one is 2.5 going on 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 8 and nearly 3.
So what is my opinion?
What is your opinion on children, their access to the web and smart devices?
As a parent, there's 2 ways to look at it. Either the glass is half empty or it's half full. As a parent, I really love YouTube Kids because it's a makeshift babysitter. Mm-hmm. At the same time, I know I shouldn't do it. We really need to engage more with our kids. I think kids have access to stuff now that we never had access to, and things we didn't even know about. Let's not just take the negatives, though. There are positives to their access. I mean, there's information out there we never had access to as well. So there's educational information that we can give the kids access to. There's educational videos that we can help them with. But at the end of the day, like I just said, I unfortunately make it a makeshift babysitter. So as long as we can control screen time and control what they're seeing and try and have some say over what's going on, I think it's not always a negative. We can use the positives, but at the same time, we also as parents need to be more proactive in getting the kids out of the house.
Absolutely.
Because when we were kids, we had that opportunity to just be out of the house for 10 hours a day, 15 hours a day, and we would come back when the dinner bell rang. And now I think we're such helicopter parents, and we hover over our kids and don't let them out of our sight.
Well, unfortunately, there's a safety aspect as well that we do have.
The phone and the tablet is the safe bet, or even the PlayStation or whatever the console might be. And I don't think it's the best for our kids. We should take more initiatives to engage them in outdoor play activities and to really take them on those nature walks, take them on a walk to the beach.
And engage with them.
Get them to throw rocks into the water or,
whatever it
rub
might
dirt
be.
into a wound. It's we need to make sure we have an active balance. And I'm not against technology for kids, but I'm not all for it either.
Yeah.
It's
that's the trick, isn't it? That everything in moderation, striking the balance. And I think also being very aware of what they're seeing, because there is obviously a great educational aspect to it. And they're exposed to so much in a good way. I mean, my son this morning was talking about some YouTuber who lost an eye, but the way he was saying it was like, oh, but mommy, the guy didn't look scary and it's amazing because they can have glass eyes. And he was exposed to this that I think I had to reach my 20s before I met someone, in a similar predicament and kind of understood that. And to understand that people overcome things, and that's the amazing part of it. But then there's the other part where they see some scary thing that just pops up and then they can't sleep at night, or their brains can't process that information.
I agree. And it's about being able to understand the content you're watching. And even my own 8-year-old, she would very similarly come and say, I put on a video and now I can't sleep.
Yeah.
I said, well, why would you put that video on?
But they're not in control of that. That's not her fault. And they come up with really weird things.
We have to take our own responsibility on that and just kind of, yes, be a little bit more proactive on what we allow them to watch. But at the same time, these kids are outsmarting us left, right, and center.
Oh my
they
goodness,
know our passwords. They know how to scan our fingerprints. I mean, they're very clever. They're getting smarter each generation.
Yeah. Interesting times. Yeah. Interesting. And we're the first set of parents that's going through this. That's the other thing. There's no precedent. It's just us trying to, fumble our way through bringing up the next generation with these devices.
So we need to come up with a concept, and we'll do it an annual event where we'll call it like 1960s week. Where we'll get like rotary phones in the house, get rid of all the TVs. we'll get a 14-inch TV for the living room, and everyone has to watch the same thing.
Imagine.
And then
Brilliant.
see how that goes. Take us back to the 60s and 70s.
Yeah. Costantino, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Farah. It was
Wishing
a pleasure.
you guys all the best at COD and
Thank you.
You personally and everything you do.
It was great being here and great talking to you.
We finally managed it. We said it ages ago, didn't we? A year ago, we'll do an episode.
Yeah, we said it a while ago, and two busy lifestyles and busy hospitality
and parenting and everything else. School
so we
runs.
finally managed to. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
You're welcome to come to the hotel with the family, as you already have.
I will do. I will do. You're going to see me there.
Be happy to welcome you back, and I want to see your little ones in the adventure park as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Good.
Thank you so much,
Farah.
Thanks. I really hope that you've enjoyed listening to Hotel Talk and this episode. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button because it helps us more than you may realize. And also, if you have enjoyed any episode more than maybe another, do share that with as many friends as possible, because whoever gets the most amount of downloads or likes after the first year, we will be donating 1,000 euros to a charity of their choice. So all your listens really help us. If you'd like to stay in touch, don't forget to hop along to St. Raphael Resort and Marina's website, join our Seahorse Club, and email the hotel anytime that you want to come and stay, quoting Hotel Talk, to receive an exclusive offer just for you as our valued listener. So thanks once again, and here's to many more amazing episodes with you, our listener, in mind.